We are back today on the podcast, guys. Conor McGregor and the show that is the UFC. Get rid of it. See you in a minute. All right, guys, welcome back. I am Bill Jones, head instructor of top-level martial arts in beautiful downtown Cuyahoga Falls. Coming at you today with my friend, my pal, my co-host, my chum, my buddy, slightly above novice in all things, Mr. Edward Whitney. You're back.
I'm back, sir.
It's good to see you, man.
I missed it.
Yeah, good to see you.
Going crazy.
You took some time off.
I did,
and you're back.
I'm back.
All right,
here we are,
guys. You should see this guy. He looks like he almost looks Jamaican. He's so tan after that vacation he took.
I wish.
So anyway, Ed, how you doing? How's life treating you?
It's going pretty good, man. Pretty good.
I'm glad to hear that.
Everything's going well. It was a big moment in my life about 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
A little excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody had the nerve to give me a purple belt.
Really?
Can you believe
they
this?
They gave it to you, or you earned it?
According to them, I earned it.
Oh, okay.
You know.
All right, fair enough.
But, you know, I suffer from BJJ fraud syndrome, just like everybody else.
Okay. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh.
So it was an article I read yesterday on, what's that website that Emil writes for?
Jiu-Jitsu Times.
Jiu-Jitsu Times. You know, where you like get promoted and you're like, am I worth this? And you know.
Are you worth this?
Yeah, am I worth this stripe? Am
I
good
enough?
Exactly.
You freaking weirdo.
To summarize what my wife said, it's a piece of accent material for your gi. I wouldn't take it so seriously. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but we do.
We do. You can't help it.
You
can't help it.
Oh, yeah. Man. So what a week.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you see any of this chaos that's been going on in the UFC?
Holy goodness gracious.
Man. So what an emotional roller coaster that was for fight fans.
Yeah. So for anybody who's been living under a rock or doesn't know what we're talking about, or maybe you don't watch UFC or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say, and under that rock, there's no Wi-Fi signal.
Basically, the UFC 223 was going to go on Saturday night, right?
Yep.
And Friday they were having a press thing, like the press junket or whatever, and all the fighters were coming in on buses. They were in New York City, am I right? Yeah.
The Barclays Center, yeah.
Yeah. They were at the Barclays Center in New York City doing their, probably pre-fight weigh-ins and staring at each other naked and stuff like that.
Trying to sell fights.
Yeah. Doing their thing.
Yep.
And they're getting ready on the bus to leave.
Yeah.
And Conor McGregor, superstar Conor McGregor,
multi-millionaire
with a billion of his buddies.
Yeah, a gang of thugs.
Decide it's a good idea to come start banging on the doors of the Barclays Center. And intelligently enough, security says, hey, there's a bunch of thugs banging on my windows, but hey, Conor's here, so let's just let them all in.
Yep.
And so they do that, and Conor and his buddies go on a tirade through the Barclays Center, screaming at that Turd Fergler and
Well, it wasn't Turd Ferguson.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because remember...
he's already out.
He's out at this point. And remember, they replaced him with Max Holloway.
Okay. Who's
the 145 champ, which I'm going to be honest with you, was a really good consolation prize for me anyway. Like, for me, Tony Ferguson, Khabib is as good a fight as you can get. It's like there's that and Daniel Cormier, Stipe. Those, in my world, are like the two dream fights.
Okay.
So, Ferguson tears his knee at a press conference, tripping over a wire.
That is hilarious.
Yes, and rumor has
it's not if you're him.
And the rumor has it he was wearing his sunglasses inside because that's kind of his thing. So that may have played a factor. But so then they bring in Max Holloway at this point, and then Thursday they say that he can't safely make weight.
Let's be honest though. If your knee got torn tripping over a wire, it was about to go. At least it didn't happen in a ring.
I agree.
Like at least it didn't happen when like a belt was on the line.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
Because he's the champ, isn't he? Who's the champ in that division?
Oh, we'll get there. We got a long way to get there.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
We're working our way towards that.
I didn't realize this was a whole thing.
Oh, dude, it was a soap opera. In all my years of
Still is.
I've been watching the UFC since day one, literally, since the first one. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah,
this is...
I can honestly say I haven't seen anything like this in legitimate sports.
I never have either. I haven't either. It's fucking insane. But anyway, so at this point, New York Athletic Commission says that Holloway can't safely make weight. So now comes in Al Iaquinta, who is a Matt
He's
Saragon.
like the number 11 seed, right?
Yes.
Like he should be a nobody.
Yes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Better than me.
11th.
Anytime I say a nobody, I mean, you shouldn't really be coming up against the number 1.
Yes. Yep.
You haven't made it there yet.
Yep. Well, actually, I think Khabib's number 2.
Okay.
So
well,
he wasn't the
you
champ,
get my
wasn't
point.
the number
You
1
get my
contender.
point.
Yes. But so fast forward to Friday night. That's where we're at the Barclays Center. So now Khabib and Al Iaquinta are on the same bus. So they're sitting next to each other. They don't even know they're fighting at this
They're
point
holding
yet.
hands. They're just chilling.
Well, essentially, they formed like this bond. Like, if these dudes come on this bus, we're getting them.
Yeah.
You know
so
what I mean?
so getting back to
Connor. Yeah. So now we're at that point.
he and his boys coming in the doors, flooding in,
Yep.
and decide to just tear shit up. They're throwing things, and who's he yelling at? Didn't he have like a beef with
It's
somebody?
Khabib.
So Connor's yelling at Khabib,
Yep.
and you know, like a total thug,
Yeah.
and picks up a something. I've heard a couple different things.
So
Some people say it was
both.
a dolly.
He
Some
threw
people-
both.
Oh, okay, great.
But the dolly is the one that actually smashed the window.
So
and
he
caused
smashes
the
a giant window
Yep.
on this bus, and it tears up whose face?
Michael Chiesa.
And then it cuts somebody's eye, and
yes,
that's actually
Ray Borg. I
Ray
believe it
Borg.
was.
Yeah, that's it. Cut his eye,
His
like the cornea.
Yeah. So,
So like, this guy might never fight again. Yeah, depending on the series. That's like, you know, the other guy. It turned out a lot of them were superficial, lots of blood, but
Yes.
relatively superficial. Not to downplay but basically, I mean, if you or I did this,
I would still be in jail.
we would be facing jail time.
I would still be in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying no, nobody died. He didn't murder anybody. He didn't kill anybody. He's not raping people. I'm not saying that this guy needs to go away for life or
Nope.
anything. I think that justice probably will be served. But I'm saying he owes a lot of people a lot of money.
That's what's going to end up happening. So
and I was listening to this on Rogan, and he brought Boss Rutan
I was just going to say the same thing.
brought up a great
about
point.
the felony.
Yes, if he gets this felony charge, which really the only way he doesn't is if the attorneys manage to
Settle.
plea it down.
Yep.
You can't even settle. This is a felony charge isn't
Yeah.
something that you settle on. That's a civil thing,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Like this is something that attorneys need to look and say, okay, you know,
Can we get this to
can
a
we get
misdemeanor 5 or
a
misdemeanor 1?
lower level charge? But if he gets this, he has trouble fighting in the United States of America. It ends his career.
At least here.
So you know right now that his attorneys and everybody's going, look, what can we do here? What can we make? Who does he have to donate to? Who does he have to give millions to make this a misdemeanor instead of a felony?
Yep.
And then on top of that, you have a fighter who may never fight again.
Yeah.
What damages does he have? Who knows? Maybe he would have been the next Conor McGregor. You know,
man.
like maybe. And this is
There's
this
so
is a,
many
and this is a
hypotheticals.
kid who decided to go out and tell everybody how he's making these hundreds of millions, and now everybody's going to want their piece.
Yep. So one detail we did leave out. So on Wednesday, I believe it was,
Okay.
Khabib confronted Artem Lobov, I believe is his name, who is Conor McGregor's bestie. So they're like good friends. And apparently Khabib, and there's video of this, grabbed the kid behind the head, kind of like in a collar tie, and was bitch slapping his face. So apparently that's what sparked Conor and the crew showing up in America. So do I say that justifies it? Not in a million fucking years.
Yeah.
When you're a millionaire, you can't go out on some thug shit.
When you're anybody, you can't go out. And I
Yeah.
think that's the big problem here is we need these athletes to set a precedent that like this is not okay.
Yeah, this is not acceptable behavior
We
in a
are not
civilized
gangs.
society.
We are not like
Yes.
gangs and shit. That's not okay either.
Nope.
Like it's not cool. It's not fun. And
Yeah, I agree.
this is where it pisses me off.
That was a
because
flawed statement.
This is some WWE shit. The difference being in the WWE, it is fake. It's
fake as
Nobody's actually getting hurt. You see the backstage thing where like Hunter Hearst Helmsley comes in and like smacks
Yeah.
McMahon with a 2x4. I know probably neither of those probably even fight anymore, but
No, they're both relevant.
you know what I
That
mean?
was a
Like,
good analogy.
pop, and hits him, and he's like, blah, 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 blah. You've been
Yep.
fucking China. I'm out of here. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? But like none of that's real. There's not real police coming after him.
Yeah, it's
There's
a
not,
show.
It's fake.
Yes.
This is real shit. Real tax dollars went into hunting him down. Real tax dollars are going to go into the courts. Real tax dollars, people are actually injured with actual eye problems and cuts and lacerations and hospital stays. This takes up, let's say, but they're millionaires. They can pay for all of it. Great. Guess what? Whatever doctor had to treat him just spent a lot of fucking time treating him instead of maybe that poor kid who got shot by a gun. You know what I mean? Like, or had to triage that shit, and it took up time. This is not minor shit.
So let me ask
you
you
can't have athletes acting this way. They're fucking pieces of shit.
I agree. I kind of agree, man. Both of them. Khabib slapping Artem around was...
I don't even know who Artem is or what that is.
He's a UFC fighter, but he's...
This is not okay.
Yeah.
And the UFC needs to make a stand.
So let me ask you this. You know I'm more of the conspiracy-minded guy. Do you think... And we don't have to identify the players, so to speak, but do you think there was some marketing motivation?
Well, let's get back to that. Let's come back to that. Because, yes, I do.
Okay.
But let's get back to this.
Okay.
So... New York finds Conor McGregor.
Gets arrested.
He comes in, dressed to the nines,
yeah, some suit that I wish I could just touch.
Yeah,
let alone wear.
In the court. So they get him, and they're like, yeah, Conor McGregor found. This was early Saturday.
Yep.
Fighters are pulling out, right? Like,
3 fights got canceled.
Thug Rose
was real close to not fighting.
She almost didn't fight.
Yep.
So not only did this affect, of course, everybody we've mentioned, but also the UFC.
Yeah.
They probably lost money because of this.
Yeah, so there's that old, I don't know what you'd call it, statement that any press is good press.
Yeah.
I disagree. When you're the UFC, your biggest goal right now is trying to become an accepted sport in the mainstream, right? You got this shit going on. This just knocked us back 10 years. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like, my grandma sees it. She doesn't know all the backstory and about how 99% of the people in the UFC are great people, and you know what I mean. Just members.
She just sees a bunch of thugs. She sees a bunch of thugs
smashing windows and calls me up and says, "Is this what you have my
grandson
grandson doing?"
Combat sports are hard to sell to people, right?
Yeah, the blood, the violence, the gore.
It's definitely violent. It's there's no arguing any of that.
Yeah, and I guess,
and while there is definitely art to it, I mean, I'm the first one to tell you, man, like there is some high level skill going on. This isn't just two guys just randomly punching.
No,
this is skill. This is timing.
But to my grandma, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So in order for her to accept what goes on in the cage, and mind you, my grandma's passed away. This is a hypothetical
we get
scenario.
It, man.
But to get them to accept what's going on in the cage, everything outside of the cage has to be almost perfect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They have to be great people to get them to accept that it's just a sport.
So you know who had this problem? I'm gonna sound dated. I think it was almost 20 years ago now.
Okay.
The NBA.
Yes.
If you remember, about 20 years ago, the NBA started instituting rules that every fighter during travel, if they're not on the court, they had to start wearing suits and ties,
I remember that.
And they had to look good.
Yes.
And like they were all up and down, why we got to do this? Because they were starting to wear gang colors and shit like that. And they were like, no, we can't have that image. And kind of Dennis Rodman kind of started a lot of that because he decided
showed up in a wedding dress.
Yeah, just do random stupid ass shit. And I mean, Rodman, one of the best players who's ever lived, but still, he was
at least a rebounder.
Fucking whack job,
he was the best rebounder probably at least of my lifetime.
Now he spends all kinds of time over in North Korea hanging out.
That's so weird.
I don't know if he's still doing that or not. But
I don't know.
Wasn't he buddies with Kim Jong-un?
That's so weird. He went over and played basketball with him. God, Dennis Rodman is the weirdest dude ever.
Can you imagine that? Hey, Dennis Rodman, you want a pickup game?
Yeah.
Let's go. I've been working on my jump shot.
Yeah, and Kim Jong-un. That's just so great. So here's the question. I'm going way off subject here. Do you think Dennis Rodman tanked the game and lets Kim Jong-il win?
Fuck no.
He's in North Korea.
I don't think it matters.
I'm tanking.
I think when you're Dennis Rodman,
I want to get home to my
wife. Do you think Dennis Rodman cares?
I don't know.
He's probably like, dude, listen.
He is a guy who wore a wedding dress.
You're not gonna win this game.
Yeah.
Now, is he gonna it's kind of like if I roll with a white belt, right? Like I'm not gonna stomp him every time, but like.
Yeah, you might throw him an arm bar here and there.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, that was a good move. I'll let you win this one. You did a good crossover attempt there, so Here you go, buddy. But when in reality, that ball is never coming near the hoop.
Never. So let's get back on subject.
Where the hell were we?
Yeah, so
how did we start talking about Dennis Rodman?
Yeah, so at this point, the incident is cleared up. Conor McGregor's been arrested, and like all rich people, he spent 30 minutes in jail, got bonded out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So his attorney had everything set up before he ever arrives.
Mm-hmm.
Like you or I go to jail, it's a 24-hour process just to post bail.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean?
I'm sure his attorney was contacted 3 seconds after the incident, and he was probably like, okay, listen.
Yep.
Go to this penthouse.
Yep.
I'll call the district attorney.
I'll get everything paid.
We'll set everything up. They're going to pick you up at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Be out by 10:15.
Yeah, you'll be out by 10:15. You just got to sign some paperwork, get a couple pictures taken, some fingerprints, stuff like that. Yeah, it might be half hour, 45 minutes, and then we'll have you out of there. You can go, do whatever it is you're going to do.
Yep.
So
unbelievable.
So all this happens.
People
happens. Are going crazy. People are going nuts. We're like, what is going on? What's going to happen with Conor? And again, let's put it in perspective.
Yes.
He did not murder anybody. He did not take a bunch of cocaine and run over a pregnant woman. He did not, like none of this has happened, right? So not good, but also at the same time, this is not the worst thing an athlete has ever done.
Oh, no.
But the level of aggression with it, I think, is what, like...
I agree.
I don't think he wasn't trying to kill somebody. Like, how do you... I
think they would have stomped somebody out if they got their
How do you
hands on
throw
him.
a dolly through a window and expect not to hurt somebody? And he had flagrant disregard for who it was.
Yep.
It wasn't like he could have been yelling at Khabib, but he knew there were more people on that bus.
Oh, yeah.
So that's like if I'm like, yeah, Ed Whitney slighted my family. I'm gonna kill Ed Whitney, and then I go blow up a bus that you're on, and like, oh well, 20 other people died. Who cares? I got Ed.
Yeah,
come on, man.
That's just not good, man.
So I think that there definitely needs. I would like to see him serve jail time personally. I mean, not a lot. I don't expect him to do
a month,
20 years, but like, I mean, 6 months, a year. And whatever the maximum I think it said for the crime that he's currently being charged with is 5 years.
Oh, really?
That seems excessive.
Yeah, that was not a 5 year.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the guy he hit
doesn't fight for 5 years.
Goes blind.
Oh man.
Then 5 years. I mean, what's the justice for an
blind?
eye?
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, but
I know the justice for an eye. It's an eye.
Yeah. So. Okay, Hammurabi. All right, but so anyway.
Yeah.
Then. Monday morning.
Yep. So at this point, let me ask you: Khabib and Conor have to be fighting now, right? I mean, you see all this stuff go down.
I say fuck no. I honestly don't think Conor should be allowed to fight in the UFC ever again.
Okay.
I think the UFC should do that.
I agree.
So no.
But what I'm saying is,
I don't think he should be allowed to fight in any combat sport.
So I didn't word that correctly. I agree with that statement, but based on all the hype and the hoopla and the animosity towards each other, I'm thinking, oh, okay, they're getting ready to announce a Conor Khabib fight, is how I felt. Do you know what I mean? Just by how it was so in the news. So Monday morning we wake up.
And they're announcing fucking Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather
are going to box in the octagon wearing MMA gloves. Not a cage fight.
And I immediately am just like fucking floored.
Yes. So he's going to make another $100 million.
Ed, how many conspiracy theories have you known me to believe?
I can only think of one other.
What is it?
I can't remember, but I remember thinking at that time, I was like, oh shit, this must be legit because Bill's buying in too. Because you know me, I'm always like, I always take the conspiracy approach and then destroy it.
Yeah, plus your approach is like, okay, it could possibly happen.
Yep.
Right? Like, me, you try to tell me that anything in 9/11 was staged by the government. I'm going to look at you and say, you're fucking wrong. I don't believe it. I refuse to accept that. You're the kind of guy who's like, it does look a little fishy, though.
Yeah, that's it.
Right? Like,
that's it.
I'm never going to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be the hard guy against
you're the hard line guy.
Like, I'm going to show you every video about, we'll get into the science of it. But whatever.
Yep.
Believe what you want. I'm not arguing that you're...
I don't necessarily
I'm not arguing that I think you're an asshole if you believe that.
I don't believe it, but I always take the approach that it could have happened. Let's look at it.
And that's my point, right? Is that you're definitely a lot more willing to accept that. And it's not all conspiracy theories that I'm like that with.
Yeah.
But many.
Yeah, I got
right?
you.
Like, our Earth isn't fucking flat. I will argue with. If you come and try to tell me that the Earth's flat, I'll fucking punch you in the face.
Kennedy's a good one.
Kennedy. And Kennedy's, I think, the one that I do say, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that was the one, but that's like the one
and
where
the
I'm
reason
like,
is, like, all we have is, like, one film. Like, back then, there weren't cell phones everywhere. There weren't, you know what I mean? Like, there's one film that kind of shows a little bit, and... You know, there's no film of where the shots came from. You know, all we have is what they told you. Back then, that's how things worked, right?
Yes, exactly.
But you try to tell me the moon landing's a hoax, I'm going to smack you in the face. That kind of like I'm just.
I agree.
I don't buy it at all. But
that's
just how I am.
Yep.
But on this one, I actually came to you and I was like, I was like, dude, I'm not going to put it past the UFC that Conor and some, like you had this shit go down with Khabib, and he's probably talking to somebody, and he's pissed. and that there might not have been some backdoor shit. And I'm not even saying Dana White knew about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't have to name the players.
I'm saying that I honestly believe
it was
that
marketing.
This started as a staged event. It maybe got a little more out of hand than they anticipated. But I think it started as a staged event, a la WWE style, as a way to market McGregor versus Mayweather in the cage.
It's so insane.
I mean, how do you 2 days after your awesome boy fighter who cares so much about his family that he's going to go throw fucking dollies through windows?
Oh, wow.
You know, fuck this guy. He don't care about his kids. You don't do that if you care about your family. This guy doesn't give a shit. I don't care who he is. He's selfish.
Yeah.
But you know, you just don't do that. And now all of a sudden you're going to, anyway, announce this?
Yeah.
My first thing would have been, you know, listen, Connor, we're not going to announce this right now. Floyd, we're not. We have to look at what happens here.
So rumor has it that the only reason he was at the Barclays Center was to announce that fight. That's what he showed up there for. So, I don't know. Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal spectacle that we witnessed this week in fighting. Like I said, I've been watching it since '93 and I've never experienced anything.
Oh, I'm
so
livid. I think I'm going to start a hashtag ban the UFC. I mean, like, I am so against it right now. They need to clean their shit up big time.
Yep. And now you know why I'm always like so like pro Bellator and pro whatever other fight organization there is, because I always point out that the UFC did a great thing for martial arts, because before the UFC, you couldn't make $10,000 fighting unless you were a boxer. So, you know what I mean? They took MMA from this thought-up concept in the 90s to an actual kind of an actual sport now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's went way off kilter. Like, it's just way off track at this point. It's tough to watch. You know, I was 13 years old at that point, so this has kind of been my life's sport. Do you know what I mean? To watch it just crumble, it's like, this is insane.
And I don't think it's going to crumble.
I don't either.
I think I'm in the minority.
I don't.
All
my friends, and like I got some friends that are pretty deep in, you know, in the media and stuff. You know what I mean? And they're even sickened by it. You know what I mean? This is how they make their living. They're watching their potential livelihood be destroyed by this one crazy fuck.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what's sad about it.
Yeah.
You know, you bring up so many good points. That not only has the UFC, and when I say that, I'm talking about what the UFC started as, right? Yes. Basically, the UFC started as a bullshit filter.
Yes.
Right? It started by saying, look, you claim that your martial art is doing all this mystic shit. Let's see it happen.
Yep.
You know, we'll put you up against this other guy who, by the way, is smaller than you.
Yeah.
And I want to see you mystic shit your way out of this. You know, and what happened? Everybody got choked.
Yep.
And they said, oh, wow, never mind.
Yep.
And so now, there's probably more videos on YouTube debunking bullshit martial arts than there are even really talking about good martial arts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of guys, and I'm not big on the negative aspect of things like that, but I think that is an important side effect. That now it is not uncommon and not really unaccepted by the general population that when some guy comes in and says, "Oh yeah, I can just put my hand in front of your face and you'll pass out," for someone to look at him and go, "You are so full of shit."
Yes.
And back in the day, they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Even if they thought it or thought it was a little hokey, nobody said it.
Nobody wanted to be the guy.
Yeah, nobody wanted to be that guy because in Black Belt magazine it was big. You know, well, George Dillman's been on the cover of like 10 Black Belt magazines. Who am I to tell him that he doesn't know what he's talking about?
Yep.
Or you know, like, or that this won't work. You know, he's got a 10th degree black belt. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
He's an idiot.
Yep.
He may be very skilled in karate and all these things and pressure points, but he went off the deep end. He made up a bunch of bullshit, and people are calling him on it.
Yep.
You know, and that is because of the UFC.
Perfect example of that.
And actually, I'll take it one step even farther than that. It's because of the Gracie family.
Yes.
Coming to America and doing what they did. And this is another, you know what, go ahead and say what you were going to say.
So a perfect example of that, and we've actually talked about this on the podcast before, is Frank Dukes.
Yeah.
In the 80s, he made all these claims Nobody called him on the bullshit. They made a fucking movie and presented it like it was
like it was real.
Yeah, like it was based on a true story. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas nowadays,
and then
people
now there's a
like,
video. We posted it. The guy doing the math, going, "Look, this is not possible."
Yeah, it's like there had been 52 quadrillion fighters. It didn't happen,
and nobody knew about it.
Yeah. 52 quadrillion people.
The entire population of Earth participated in this event, but only Frank Dukes remembers
and from
it.
every other Earth within this solar or this fucking galaxy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, guys.
So the other thing that this reminds me of, and you were talking about this event setting the UFC back.
Yes.
Is it reminds me of a lot of things that go on in Jiu-Jitsu. You know, there's a lot of Jiu-Jitsu guys out there, still out there, that are the same way. They have that thug mentality that like, oh yeah, well, if you can't beat me in a fight, I don't want to hear about it. Or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And Jiu-Jitsu started that way in the United States. That's what they did. They did that to themselves. The Gracie family did that to themselves with their Gracie challenge, right? And it was that bullshit filter. It was like, hey, put up or shut up. Come fight me. I'll give you, I forget what it was, $500,000.
I think it was $100,000.
Whatever.
Yep.
It was a lot of money. You know, if you could beat someone in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, you know, using your martial art.
Yep.
And you know, what that turned into though was a bunch of thugs that just wanted to fight, learning it at first.
Yeah.
And saying, yeah, oh yeah, this is what I need for a fight. And now it's like, you know, when someone tries that stuff, it's like, look, man, those days are gone. All they were trying to do is prove that it worked.
Yes.
Because at the time, for most people, it just looked like wrestling.
Yeah.
And you know, like people just didn't believe it. It's hard to just look at like grappling and think, well, how could that possibly be stopping someone? It turns out that physics is a very powerful thing.
Yeah, it turns out it dictates our universe.
Yeah, so when that's all you're doing is using physics, it's fine. But Ed's switching chairs.
Yeah, that one was really squeaky.
I think that one might be.
At least it doesn't squeak.
Oh, okay.
I'll take off balance as long as it doesn't squeak.
Fair enough. But anyway, like I feel like this event puts it back to where like the jiu-jitsu was 15 years ago.
Yeah, and to kind of further elaborate on what you were saying about if you can't beat me in a fight, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
One of our students, who's actually a really high level guy, took third place at Worlds. Summarized it very well for me. He's like, do you think John Jones's coach can beat John Jones up? I was like, damn, never thought about it like that.
Yeah, no way.
Do you think Freddie Roach can beat up Manny Pacquiao? I was like, damn, no, I don't. As a matter of fact, that is a great analogy.
Yeah.
So
they just have great coaches.
Yeah, it turns out you can learn from somebody that you can't beat up, I guess is the point I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, and you know what's funny is you would think that, like for me as a coach, and the better our business gets, the more high level people come to me, right?
Yes.
Like not and I mean that in a lot of different ways. You know, high level jobs, high level thing, D1 wrestlers.
Yep.
And you would think that like a D1 wrestler would come in and be like, "Oh, prove it, prove it," and they're actually the easiest to coach.
No, yeah, they've seen it a million
because
times.
of that, exactly what you said. Like they wrestled with it, their coach can't beat them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you think at a Division I school like the wrestlers can't beat the coach?
Like you're at
up?
Ohio University, your coach can't beat you up.
Nope.
Like it's not going to happen.
Dude, you're 22, he's 50.
Not even 22 at that time. 19,
Oh yeah, he's probably 19.
20.
Yeah,
you know, like it's not going to happen. Yeah, and he's 50, but
just
it's the knowledge.
Coiled,
right?
fast twitch muscles ready to explode.
Yeah. Wow, you seem really into this, Ed.
No.
Is that your thing? Coiled, fast twitch muscles?
No, I just remember what it was like to be 21 years old and just.
Are they sweaty too, Ed?
Oh man,
are they very?
Now
sweaty?
it's getting weird. Now I'm feeling a little uncomfortable.
Got to lighten the air, man.
Yeah,
I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. I'm not judging you.
It's not.
Oh,
but
okay.
More power to you if it is your thing, whoever you may be. It's not my bag.
So, anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah, crazy ass situation. But I mean, I don't. Well, I think I've made it pretty clear that during the first Floyd and Connor fight, I was well passed out.
Yeah,
very inebriated. I had no desire.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I really don't want to see it.
I'm not really even excited about this.
And you know me, dude. I'll watch anything.
And I would have been okay with it. Like I get it that they don't want him getting the shit kicked out of him, right? Like they don't want him to have cuts on his face and
who, Floyd?
Yeah, I mean I get that, but I think that you could have modified rules.
Oh, well, they're not modified.
Yeah, well now they're just a boxing match.
It's a boxing match in MMA gloves.
I think they should have said, okay, here's what's allowed. Just even if they don't want to do kicks, punches, takedowns, submissions.
Oh, that would
no ground and pound.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
something.
Yeah, you know, something that a little more than just boxing.
It really is just boxing.
Yeah.
The only
it's not even interesting, and I
not.
think I'm with a lot of people on that.
Yeah.
I do not think this fight will make the 100 million.
Bill, you know me. I will watch any fucking combat sport there is.
Yeah, and you'll probably watch this. But...
I mean, I'll watch it, but I'm not going to order it.
Yeah.
I'll watch the memes on Reddit on Sunday morning. That's it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have no interest to like the first fight. I mean, it was an event.
Yeah.
We were excited. This is just the first fight again, but they're just changing the shape of the ring.
Yeah, like, and had Floyd conceded to a couple more rules, I think it could have been very exciting for both of them.
Oh, it could have been a mega fight.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just not. At least not
well,
for
I think
me.
what it is Floyd probably got into sparring with some of these guys who are his coaches, really.
Tyrone Woodley, who is UFC
champ. Okay, well then
so
there you go.
He probably experienced.
He probably experienced that and was like, no, I don't think this is going to work out.
Yep.
You know, let's.
I picture Tyrone Woodley and him in the cage moving around a little bit. And he's like, oh yeah, you can punch. I won't strike back. And just double legged him into oblivion once.
Boom, down,
mounted him, and then he's like, go ahead, get up.
Yeah.
Floyd's like, I'm not fucking doing this.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever experience that again. Tyrone Woodley is a high level fighter.
No shit. Yeah.
To experience that, I can only imagine how that went. Can you imagine being a fly on the wall in that session?
Oh, man.
Just one double leg, and he's like, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, this is messed up, man.
Yeah.
I just and I don't want to support anything they do.
I don't either.
That's this, like, I feel like this whole thing was a setup.
Yeah.
And it used, I mean, not necessarily mine. It used tax dollars. It used emergency services. It used, you know, it's probably going to get some people at the Barclay Center fired.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure whatever security guard let them in is probably already fired.
Yeah. I'm
like, oh, how could you let them in? Dude, it was Conor fucking McGregor.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
If there's a UFC event going on and you're the security guard and Conor McGregor shows up, are you going to not let him in?
Yeah.
He's going to look at you and go, do you know who the fuck I am?
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, yeah, you're Conor McGregor. And he goes, you realize I fight for these guys, right?
Yeah.
And you'll be like, yeah, come on in. That's what's going to happen.
So similar situation would be like if Hickson showed up here and I let him in and he just started raising hell and you're like, Ed, why would you let Hickson Gracie in here?
How dare you let Hickson Gracie in a Hickson Gracie or a Pedro Sauer school?
And he just starts raising hell.
Yeah, like what are you supposed to do?
You hold me accountable for it?
Yeah, I'm like, you're out of here, Ed. Idiot.
I think they have to get fired, don't they?
I don't know their rules. I'm sure that the rules were probably violated. And that's the way it goes. But you know what I mean? But he led to that. And I think that guy should sue Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Everybody should.
There's a lot of lawsuits that are going to happen. And Conor McGregor is going to learn real quick that he's in the United States. And in the United States,
they sue.
We sue the fuck out of you.
That's all they do is sue here.
I don't know how it is in Ireland.
I don't either, but I know in America, lawsuits get lost
about.
This
ain't New Zealand where you can't do that. You know,
like
you're liable for those actions. You know, especially because people got hurt.
Yeah, there's actual damage.
It'd be one thing, like if it was building, like vandalism.
Yeah, like what if you'd have just hit the side of the bus? Like you could have did all the exact same shit, not hit the glass, just hit the bus.
Yeah, you could have just pounded on the bus and
nothing
shook
happens.
it a little bit, and everybody's fine.
Everybody's
you know what
fine.
I mean? And just be the. And I still would have been.
I would have been
pissed, but like
too.
I wouldn't have been as pissed as somebody got injured. You know, like this is not okay. And someone got injured in a way that could end their career.
The reality is, man, he took a lot of money out of a lot of people's pockets that night.
A lot.
So he's gonna have to put it back. Because the UFC did pay.
Thug Rose end up winning?
She did.
Oh, good for her.
5-round war too.
I mean, good for both of them, but you know that they both fought. But
Yeah.
I know that she was talking about backing out.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the negotiations with the UFC there? They're probably like, look, don't tell anybody. Maybe there's another $50K in this for you if you just stay on.
Yeah,
because
sure.
We need you.
I'm sure
this is good. This is becoming a very weak card.
It turns out we only got 8 fights instead of 12.
Come on, girl.
Yeah.
Take one for the team, please.
So what I wonder
if you lose, we promise we'll hook you up.
So what I wonder, and I may or may not have heard this from backdoor alleys, but apparently Pat Barry, I don't know if you know who he is.
No.
Giant heavyweight fighter, used to be in the UFC.
Okay.
Slightly above novice.
All right.
In the UFC. So, you know, a dangerous dude.
Yeah.
Apparently wants to beat Conor's ass. And has stated...
Can you do it?
He's 250 pounds. And still pretty good. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's... Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'd smash the fuck out of him.
Okay.
Conor's 150, 170. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Pat Barry's still jacked. So rumor has it Pat Barry... Because that's Thug Rose's husband.
Oh.
Yes, she's married to Pat Barry. And
Yeah, well, so pissed off the wrong guy.
Yeah, apparently he wants to put an ass whooping on Connor, so.
And maybe he'll get back in and make that happen. Let's make that happen. Open weight fight.
That'd be amazing. That'd be great. Now all of a sudden we're back at...
Now everybody's wanting Connor to lose.
Yeah.
Everybody's wanting to see Mayweather beat him. Everybody's wanting to see...
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
In one night, Connor went from being a megastar to people wanting to see Floyd Mayweather.
And look...
Floyd's the biggest goat and biggest bad guy ever.
Yeah.
Like, that was his role. And now he's the good guy.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, and look, like I said, I don't want to see the guy go away for life. I don't want to see him hit the chair, right? Like, but I think he should spend a few months in jail to think about it. I think that he should be paying all these people back.
Yeah. You know what?
And I think that there should be some real talks about him never being allowed to fight again.
I have to amend my last statement. I am not rooting for Floyd Mayweather. He's beat a lot of women.
I'm not rooting for that fight in general.
I just want them to both smash each other's faces beyond recognition. I can't root for Floyd.
They won't. It's another fix. It's not even close.
He's hit multiple women. Do you know
Floyd
what I mean?
Mayweather's going to win this one too.
I can't root for him. Sorry.
He'll have a professional UFC career of 1-0.
I'm just more. My madness is fresher with
no,
Connor.
I get it.
Do you know what I mean?
But I will say this.
Yeah.
And I'm going back on to what I said initially. It wasn't as mad as I am about it. It's not like he murdered someone. It's not like he's beating women. It's not, well, arguably, but
fortunately, no women were hurt. So
yeah, well, I mean,
not that,
but he can get through this.
Yes.
Like, look at Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is
doing okay.
Doing fine.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people actually root for him and like, I mean, not as, obviously he doesn't fight anymore, but
just root for him to get his life together.
Yeah, they're happy to see him with his pigeons and whatever the fuck else makes him happy. And you watch him in the movies and you like him and he seems like a likable person. So I'm not saying that this has to define the rest of his life. I'm not saying that his wife should walk out on him and that he, everybody should leave his life. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
I don't think that should happen.
No.
I don't think that should happen to anybody. But I really think he needs to be given a true wake-up call.
I honestly think...
That, hey, just because you came into $100 million really fast does not give you the right to do whatever the fuck you want. Same thing happened to LeBron James, and guess what happened to him?
He's
pretty stand-up character.
I was going to say, LeBron's a great guy.
That's
what
my point is. Like, everybody wants to talk about, and kind of make excuses for him because he came into this money real quick. And it's like, I get that. That's probably... It's stress I don't know about, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time... There's plenty of athletes who've done it and do it every fucking year, and they're fine.
So I don't know if people like listening or like I don't know if people around the country are listening or whatever. But I don't know if this gets out in like national media. But like LeBron James,
Black belt tips? Oh, absolutely. CBS every day.
I'm talking about like LeBron James' story, like with the bikes. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, he gives bikes away.
Thousands of bicycles he's
it's
bought
sad,
for
though.
the kids.
They're talking about him leaving Cleveland again.
Good for him.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd retire here, though.
I was too, but I don't. I guess it's politically motivated. Him and the owner not seeing eye to eye.
They've always kind of been not eye to eye. Yeah, but this is literally on politics.
Yeah,
that's
tough, man.
I don't know. To let politics dictate your life like that.
Have you ever been on Facebook?
Yeah, I know.
Turns out a lot of people are that way.
A lot of people are deluded, man.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Yeah.
I was reading one thing where someone's like, "Oh, this is just like Germany before the Holocaust." I'm like, dude, I'm not taking wheelbarrows full of money that isn't worth anything anywhere. Like,
yeah,
my money still spends. I don't see people getting herded into, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we're a long way.
You don't have to agree with the stances on immigration and stuff. Believe what you want. That's fine. But to compare it to something like that, I think
it's a bit extreme.
Yeah,
and disingenuous as well.
Yes, incredibly. And I mean,
and
that goes
comes from both
ways.
sides of the aisle.
Yeah. Whichever side you're doing.
Yeah,
because then you'll have other people be like, "Oh, this is the greatest era in American history," and it's like,
no, the fuck, it's not.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Like,
so I guess honestly, I could argue that it is,
yeah,
but it's not a result of either side's politics.
Right. I mean, like,
it's just modern technology.
Because the habit of a lot of people is to say, "Oh, let's make America great again," right? Like, and that harkens back, I think, to that 1950s Leave It to Beaver family atmosphere. But then
it was great if you weren't a black guy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? America was great for white guys.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
and like that, but that's what people think of when they say that.
Yeah,
and then you say, look, man, like, I get what you're saying. Like, that you want that that nuclear family. You want it so that only one member of the household has to work. You want it so that education is important and people have good manners. I get it.
We got to include
But let's look at what else was going on
Yeah,
at that time. Like it wasn't necessarily great. Like they were heading up. There was an upward trend.
Yep.
But there was blatant segregation.
Yeah.
Like you know, there's a movie that came out recently called called Numbers, Counting Numbers. Gosh, I'm going to forget what it was called. But it was about the space program.
I have not seen this.
And it was about the ladies behind it.
I did see that.
And yeah, it was phenomenal, man. I loved that movie.
I think you told me
but
about
like
it.
Some of it is like, you know, like you look at that and you're like, oh, wow, you know, I didn't even consider. This poor lady's like having to run across the fucking campus so she can go to a quote, colored bathroom.
That's
like,
insane.
That's fucked up. And you know, and it does talk about like how intelligent people thought about those kinds of things. Like when he goes out there and he just fucking takes a hammer to the sign. Yeah. He's like, I don't give a fuck what bathroom you use.
I need
just
you
get
in
the work
lab.
done.
I need you in the lab.
I don't give a fuck.
You're brilliant. Get in here.
You can be whatever color you want.
Yeah, man.
Just fucking, you're a great person. Who cares? You know, like shit like that. It, like when I saw that scene, that literally made me cry a little bit.
Yeah, I get it.
Like because like it's something I, thank God, never had to deal with in my life.
Yes.
Like, you know, and I hate to think, you know, who would I have been back then? I don't know. Would I have, you know how it is. But
so, you know, I try not to get too personal on here, but amazingly, man, I've actually been on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Like I was the victim of it.
Oh,
being a white kid in a predominantly black high school. So I've actually experienced it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I've experienced that racial bias and that, you know what I mean? So
in a different way.
It's the same. Just opposite. Do you know what I mean? Just I was in a predominantly black area and I was the white guy, so you know I've experienced what racism feels like. It's fucked up. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a shitty feeling. You know what I mean? So
I don't know. I think it's a shitty thing to do. I don't know. Like I said, like
it is shitty. There's no other word for it. You're a scumbag.
I mean, yeah. Like I don't get it. I don't get it.
Now, do I think that you should give somebody a pass because they're a certain ethnicity? Of course not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that everybody should be evaluated based on, not to quote Martin Luther King, the content of your character. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, but anyway, man, we got
way off. We went on a tangent.
Holy shit.
Avoid politics at all costs.
Yeah, we did not do that.
Shit.
Huh? No, that's okay. But I mean, I think most people agree with our stance there.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you don't, I'm not sure I want to know you.
But don't unsubscribe.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to listen. Just keep your subscription going up so it automatically downloads.
Yeah, so make sure you have it set to auto download. Yeah. You can delete it after the fact.
These guys agree that racism is bad.
Fuck them.
They don't want segregation. What a bunch of dicks.
Yeah. That would be a good way to segregate, though. Dicks over here, kind people over here.
Assholes, here you guys go. No, because I'd have to be in the asshole thing. I'm definitely an asshole.
Yeah.
I'm just not that kind of asshole.
You're not an asshole.
Nah.
You're just...
I get my moments.
Yeah.
But,
maybe lacking in social skills. An asshole, definitely not.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway. So, yeah, but I'm sad to see LeBron go. But like, coming back to the whole reason we even brought him up was that, like, he came into a lot of money, a lot of fame very fast. Like
he's a high school kid.
He literally walked at 19 years old, walked into the NBA, and was already being told that he's the best who's ever lived.
Yep.
Right? Like, how the fuck do you deal with that?
He had
Talk
a Hummer.
about pressure.
He was getting paid in high school.
Yeah.
He drove a Hummer to high school that he got from his agent. Because
when you said he had a Hummer, I was thinking something different.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, he probably got
I was going to say, dude, he is LeBron James. That was probably not an issue.
I mean, good for him.
Good for you, bro. Good for you. Got a Hummer and a Hummer. You, dude. You got a Hummer and a Hummer.
Got a Hummer and a Hummer.
Good for you.
I don't know that as a fact.
Yeah.
That could be a lie.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make broad assumptions there.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do here.
Man, this one got blue, dude.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, man? Dude, it was a hectic week.
It was.
It was tough. Like I said, man, I was sitting there just as a fight fan, just in awe of the spectacle that was taking place throughout the week.
I'm disgusted by it.
I'm kind of getting over it. Just talking about it has made me realize that it was just a 28-year-old, still a kid, obviously, if you're behaving like that.
Yeah. Got
caught up in the moment, made some really bad fucking choices, and hopefully he recovers from it. Because that's what I'd wish on anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want anything bad for anybody. He needs to pay for it, and he will. He will. He's in the justice system. I
picture his retribution being writing a lot of fucking checks, paying for a certain judge's next political campaign so that they knock it down to a misdemeanor, and maybe spending 30 days in jail. I'd be satisfied with that. And then let's get on with it.
I feel like he needs suspended from the UFC. I feel like something like that needs to happen.
See, the only problem with that, in my opinion, is he's such a megastar that I feel like he could promote fights without them, and he'd probably end up making more fucking money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't even know that.
Well,
that would be
I
a
just think
detriment.
that fighting commissions should ban him from fighting for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, and
so then he can't promote anything.
See, that's where it gets so sketchy, though. Because we have individual state athletic commissions.
Yeah.
And let's say hypothetically all 50 athletic.
Well, and realistically,
I think there's only like 40. I think there's 10 states that don't even have them. But let's say hypothetically all 40 sign off on it.
Yeah.
You can still go to Canada, go to Mexico, Europe. Do you know what I mean? So it's.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's not like the NBA.
But let's be honest, the money's in America.
Yeah. He can still sell pay-per-views here, though.
Yeah, there's a reason he came here.
He can still promote it here, you know what I mean? So it's just...
And again, I don't know. I said forever. It probably shouldn't be forever, but...
nah, I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
I just feel like he's done a very big wrong inside his company.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if you came walking in through the door, throwing shit around.
And injured
You'd
Tommy.
be fired.
Yeah.
Like, it would not be okay. So... But anyway, man.
I'd like to think he might give me a free pass as long as I don't break or hurt anything.
Yeah, but he did break it.
I know, exactly.
That's my point. I mean, if you just kicked a trash can, then whatever. You're having a bad day.
Yeah,
but...
I've punched a wall or two when nobody's around. Good thing we got padded walls, right? Yeah, it was... I don't know. So what do you think happens next? Do you think Conor and Floyd really fight?
Yeah.
I do too.
Yes, I do.
I do too.
And the only reason I'm saying that is because I said no for the other one so intently, and it definitely happened.
Yeah.
This one will happen. I don't think they'll make the same kind of money.
I don't either.
I don't even think it'll be close.
Nah. Who wins?
I still think it's fixed. I think Floyd will win.
I do too. Just because
Conor doesn't have an undefeated record, so he's got nothing to lose, right?
Nope.
So all they have to do is make money. Floyd's one with the undefeated record, so he's going to want to maintain that. It'll be close. It might go. What are they doing? 3 5-minute rounds?
I think 5-5s.
Okay, so it might go 5 rounds just to make it pretty for everybody, but I think they won't be hitting as hard as they can, and especially Floyd, he don't want to break his hands.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's got glass hands, and glass hands and 4-ounce gloves. That could be a tough night.
It'll be a lot of dancing, maybe a good show for some parts of the rounds, but I don't see anybody getting knocked out or anything like that.
They hug and ride off to the bank together at the end.
Yep,
that's what I pictured too.
Carrying dollies and trash cans.
Yeah, man. The UFC is now the WWE.
Oh man, that's actually my biggest do what you want.
Fear.
Once again, do what you want. If you think that there's more money running your organization that way, that's fine, but keep it fake. Don't be using people's tax dollars and using like the real police and the real emergency services as your marketing division. That's not
rough.
okay. Not okay.
Yeah, it is my understanding that's how the WWE started. Is it was like catch wrestling where there was actual matches.
Yeah,
and then somebody was like, "Hey, you know what, man? We can make a lot of fucking money by working these fights."
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean, they could do the same right now. You know, and when people, this is like the thing I use to highlight conspiracy possibilities. Is people will shoot somebody in the face for $50.
Yeah.
Do you don't think somebody will do some backhanded shit for $100 million?
Yeah.
You're not paying attention. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
and the only thing that makes conspiracies work is a small amount of people with a large amount of money.
That's it. Those are the two things that I always look for.
Like you and I could pull off some sort of conspiracy if there was enough money involved. I think like if you said, okay, we need these 100 people involved, it breaks down.
We're caught.
It breaks down.
Exactly.
Someone is going to give it up, either out of fear or out of honesty.
All
or
these things.
Feeling, whatever.
Yep. It only takes one for the whole thing to
That's
crumble.
why. That's my main reason I don't like a lot of conspiracy theories.
Yeah, me too.
Plus, I've been on the business end of the American government. They're not as good as people think they are.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like they're not as moral as people think they are. I think they're probably about as moral as most people would expect. But they are not as skilled. Like you think everybody like they can pull off these operations and like it's all flawless. It is not.
No.
It looks that way because you didn't know what the original plan was.
Yeah, exactly. You just got what's left. Exactly. Just look to any bill that's been passed in the last 20 years.
I mean, when you know what the original plan was, you're like, how did these guys get anything fucking done? That wasn't anything like what it was supposed to look like.
Like a good example. Oh man, we're going down politics again. And I'd like to think I'm the most moderate person possible.
I'm very moderate.
Like I try to align my politics as moderate as possible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Obamacare is a perfect example. It was presented as like universal health care, where people were going to get health insurance. It turned into a marketing ploy to force people to buy health insurance.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm staying away from that one, but I get what you're saying.
I was.
There's no arguing that like it's more expensive now.
Yeah, that it's not what it was supposed to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they made it sound like it was going to be free health care.
It was going to be universal health care for anybody. It's not.
Whether you agreed with it or not is
exactly.
Another story.
Yeah, and you know me, I'm pretty. When it comes to stuff like that.
In defense of that, a lot of people were telling everybody, this is not what they're saying.
Yes.
Have you read this? This is not what they're saying it is.
Yeah, exactly.
They're saying it's this, but it's really what's in this document. Did you read this document?
Yep.
Okay, we just passed it. All right, I guess it is what it is now.
Yep.
You know?
And then the bills start coming. I'm like, how did my insurance go from $75 a week to $300?
Yeah.
Nothing changed. Oh.
And I tell you what, man, and my wife works for a hospital.
Yeah.
And nothing is covered.
No.
I need a sleep test, right? I can't get one because it's not covered anywhere. Yep. It's not covered by our insurance. And because the company that owns her hospital is out of Cleveland, I'm going to have to drive an hour to Cleveland to probably get this fucking thing done.
Yep.
It's fucking retarded, man.
It's unbelievable.
You know, so anyway, that all aside, it's just, oh, you know what? I should apologize there. I just realized I used the word retarded.
Oh.
I try not to do that.
I've been trying to, man. And frankly, not because they tell me I have to, just because I try to be
kind. Just because, So
if it's bothering somebody,
I'm going to go ahead and throw out an apology on that one. Yeah. That's on me.
As a guy who people would say is that, I accept your apology. Yeah. There you go.
All right, what else we got? We can't end on an apology.
Yeah, no doubt. That's not what we do.
What else is going on in the world?
Is there anything else?
Is there anything other than UFC?
I mean, geez.
You know what's going on? This is something I wanted to talk about. We can be brief about it if you want.
Okay.
Because I know it's not your thing.
Yeah.
Dude, it's happening. 2 weeks. 2 weeks? Is it 2 weeks?
Is that your movie?
It's not my movie, dude.
I mean, is this the one that you're so hyped for?
Yes.
Infinity Wars. I hope it doesn't be. It's not just a turd.
It won't be.
No.
The Marvel movies have not been.
Okay.
And I know you don't watch them and you don't get into them. But I
have enough friends that are really excited.
I can't downplay the fact that it had 270 million views within 24 hours. The trailer alone.
That's impressive, sir.
24 hours, 270 million views.
Jesus.
This is a product that has been 10 years in the making. Like, this has never, ever, ever been done in the history of cinema.
No.
Like, not this way.
Not
There's
like
a lot of James Bond films. There's a lot of Friday the 13th films.
Star Wars, they all kind of tie together.
But it is not the same way.
It just, they spent 10 years doing these movies, and now they're all going to come
Can you imagine that first meeting where you're like, oh, yeah, we want to make an Iron Man film? And they're like, oh, yeah, that sounds fine. You just throw it together, and they're like, oh, no. But at the end of it, we're going to introduce this thing called S.H.I.E.L.D. From the comics. And it's probably going to take like 10 years to get this all to fruition, but we want it to end up in this big thing at the end. And they're probably like, what? And they're like, yeah, we want it to end up in this big thing in the end where it'd probably take about 10 years. Someone probably looked at them and go, you guys are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And now, this is the funniest part. Like, all these other film studios are trying to do this, right?
Yeah, it's too late, man.
And you can't. Like DC's trying, and they just suck at it. And like, other film studios are trying it. Like, I don't know if you saw, like, did you see that there was a Mummy movie that was released probably about a year and a half ago? Had Tom Cruise in it.
I did not.
Nobody watched it. Don't worry. Point is,
I watched the first one with Brendan Fraser, I think, like 20 years ago.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah,
that was fine. Like 20 years ago. But this one was like a couple years ago.
Was that the guy that was in it?
No, this had Tom Cruise.
No, I mean the old one.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser.
I got the right actor.
Yeah, you were right.
Good for me.
Yeah, great job.
I never get actors'
Kudos,
names.
man. Fist bump.
Thanks.
Boom. Boom. So anyway, they make this mummy movie, and they decided they were going to call it, I think it was Paramount? No, it wasn't Paramount. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They were calling it Universal Studios. They were calling it the Dark Universe. And so they were going to make
sounds comical.
This whole, kind of like Marvel's doing with this stuff. but it was going to be the dark universe, and it was going to be all these like the Mummy and Frankenstein and Dracula and all this stuff. It didn't work.
Of course not. Of course not. Turns out original ideas are only original ideas once.
Yeah.
And that's when they're great.
It's like, look, you're picking just a bunch of things that are in the public domain. Like, I could literally write a book about Dracula.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have to pay anybody for it. You know what I mean? Like
yep.
These are in the public domain. Nobody's going to get excited about that. There's a reason that they're in the public domain.
Yep.
But anyway, like the hype on this thing is real.
So
man.
Scale 1 to 10. How excited are you?
10.
Really?
I'll see it opening night.
Have you ever been more excited for a movie?
Probably. I was probably more excited for the Star Wars movie that came up.
The recent one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was excited for it to come out, and then
I was excited.
Then
too.
it absolutely murdered me.
Yeah.
And I mean, that part of that was probably the amount of excitement I had for it. Was that
expectations
it
were
didn't
just
even,
so high.
Yeah, but the expectations have been high for all these Marvel movies, and the difference is they've lived up to it.
You've just been like, oh my god, this is great.
For everybody, though. Like these are universally loved movies.
So this is what I picture. I picture Bill Jones sitting in the theater, got his popcorn tub with the movie printed on it, because you always buy the collector tub, right?
I do, yes.
Got the cup with Iron Man on it.
I know, I don't buy the cup, just the tub.
Oh, you don't get you just get the regular cup?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got your soda. You got your 3D glasses on. Do you watch them in 3D?
I prefer to.
Okay. And you're just sitting there just munching
like
popcorn.
A little fucking kid, man.
I picture you like on the edge of your seat hugging
like
your popcorn.
You're not wrong. You are not
That's
wrong.
Great. Dude, I wish. I wish there was something I could watch that would get me that excited. I wish.
Yeah,
I mean, say that, but
even as divisive as they are,
yeah,
the DC movies, I love them.
I know you do.
I love Superman. I love Batman. Like, I'm never going to tell you that Justice League was a great film. Like, it's not one that, like, if you
but
were
you
like,
had fun.
If you were like top 10 films I need to see from the last 5 years, what are they? I would not probably put Justice League in one of them.
But you had a good time.
But I had a great time.
Yep.
You know, and I love those characters, and it was awesome to see them on screen. I wish it would have been a better movie so that it could have been a full universe just like Marvel, but it wasn't, and I'm okay with that. There's still 3 movies that connect to it, and a few more coming out that'll probably be better than they were because they're learning. Yeah. But it's never going to be what Marvel is.
It's too late.
Yeah, and but I mean, this thing, I mean, it's going to gross more than probably any movie in the history of movies.
That's a bold statement, sir.
There's no doubt.
Really?
Yeah, there's no doubt.
I wonder what the highest grossing movie is right now.
You know what? It turns out I have a Google machine. Okay, Google. Maybe I don't. Let's see. Let's try that a different way. Because I'm recording at the same time, I don't think Google will pop up. Let's go highest.
So if you have to guess before you get the answer, who do you say it? What do you say it is?
I believe it used to be Titanic.
Yeah, that was a while ago though.
It might be Avatar. I don't know.
Ooh. So are they ever coming out with Avatar 2?
Let me see here. List of highest grossing films. They're actually supposed to come up with Avatars 2, 3, and 4. They're filming them all at the same time, and it's probably one of the biggest mistakes they're ever going to make if they decide to do it.
Yeah. I feel like they kind of missed the boat on that, man. Because Avatar came out at the exact right time. Like HD TV was just a thing. 3D in the theaters was just becoming a thing. I just feel like they kind of missed the boat with the sequel. It's been about, what, 10 years?
Yeah, I think they completely missed it. And it wasn't that good of a movie to begin with.
But it was really fun and enjoyable.
It was interesting to see.
That's what I mean. Like, I feel like the visual spectacle that
where do you go with that? Like the storyline was not good or original.
It was good enough.
But that's my point, though.
Yeah.
You don't make a franchise on good enough.
I feel like if they would have did it back then, it might have worked, though. Because, like I said, people were just getting HD TVs in the house.
Yeah.
1080
but now it's
and
like
1080p were just becoming a thing.
Yeah, now it's like, oh, look, a bunch of bright stuff on a high-def
Now,
TV. That's what they fucking make that just to market them these days.
You see that in Best Buy now.
So it's kind of a toss-up, according to this article on Wikipedia. Okay. It says that it's between Avatar, which grossed $2.7 billion, and Titanic, which earned $2.2 billion in theaters and $1.2 billion in DVD sales.
Wow. So we had them both.
So yeah. So well, I mean, but this is kind of my thing. I kind of pay attention to this stuff, right?
Yeah, I know you're a movie guy.
But the Lion King is up there.
What a great movie.
So yeah, here we go. Rank. It's like a tie. Avatar and Titanic. Star Wars: The Force Awakens is 3. Jurassic World is 4. I would not have guessed that.
That's the new Jurassic Park, isn't it?
Yeah. The Avengers is 5. Furious 7, believe it or not, is number 6. Avengers: Age of Ultron, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Star Wars and Black Panther are both tied for number 9 and 10.
So my problem with that list is it seems like it's kind of deceiving. Like modern movies have a huge advantage just because of the devaluing of currency, basically.
Yeah, but also, I mean, how many ways? Like when Gone with the Wind was released,
that's exactly.
You could only see it in theaters, right?
Yeah.
Like there weren't DVD releases and anything like that.
I'm going to be honest with you. Out of all the movies you just named,
but generally they do tend to try to factor all that into these lists. But I mean,
in my honest opinion, out of all the movies you just named, Lion King was the best one out of all of them.
Yeah, and that fell at number like 11 or 12.
Yeah, that was probably the best one in my opinion.
I would disagree. I mean, I didn't particularly think that Avatar or Titanic were great films. They were well done.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I enjoyed the shit.
And you got to admit, I mean, people are looking for good directors. James Cameron has number 1 and 2. So
good point.
Just saying.
That might be your guy. He might be the go-to guy. Yeah, just for the sake of full disclosure, I really enjoyed the shit out of Avatar. It was a great time.
I'm looking to see if any of these surprised me in the top. I think this is a list of 50.
I'm going to be honest with you. The one that really surprised me was Furious 7.
Yeah, there's a couple of the Fast and Furious movies on here.
I haven't watched Fast and the Furious since Fast and the Furious. That was the name. It was just Fast and the Furious, the first one.
Yeah, that's the only one I've seen too.
And I think I was like 18 at the time, so it was like right in that young guy wheelhouse, you know?
None of these are really surprising, I guess. Well, maybe Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, and...
yeah, kids' movies never surprise me.
And Despicable Me 2 and 3 are on here as well.
Yeah, kids' movies don't surprise me just because I remember what it was like taking kids to the theater.
But keep in mind, these are highest grossing, not considered best films.
Oh,
right?
No. Yeah, but I mean, I would argue, though, that that's a better gauge than what the critics say.
I would, too, because that's what people want to see.
Yep, exactly.
Like, a lot of times you're watching, you know, like... well, not that I watch the Oscars, but like you see like the lists of who's on it, and you're like, who the hell is this? What movie is this?
Yeah,
what is this?
Nobody ever watched that shit. A good example of that is like in music. Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, like the top 50 songs or whatever would be dictated by the top 50 songs they play on the radio.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at like the top 50 songs, I don't know who 25 of the people are. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then you go on their website, and they got 232 million views on a video. You're like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But it's because it's what people want to see, not what the critics say is the best.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's exciting. I can't wait till that comes out.
Yeah.
I might do a review on that or something.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. So
I tried, man. I really tried to get into it. I liked Iron Man. You know, I tried watching Black Panther, and I thought I'd get into it, especially.
So what's your drawback? What's your lack of interest on it?
I just lose focus. Like about 15 minutes into the movie, I'm just like.
So what? But what caused you to lose focus?
I don't know. Like it's been a long time since I actually watched a movie and enjoyed it. Avatar is the last one that pops into my head. You know, where I was just like riveted.
See, it amazes me that you would like Avatar, but you wouldn't like any of these.
And I think it's that visual spectacle that I enjoyed so much about it.
It amazes me that
just because it was so new. Like I said, because I just got it. That was my first HD TV. Like I remember buying my first HD TV and watching Avatar on my PlayStation 3 or whatever it was at the time. You know, or actually we ordered it. We ordered it because it was in 1080. And I just remember the whole family just sitting there with our mouths agape. You know, because this was our first HD experience. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of factors in me enjoying that so much.
See, I feel like we should go to this together and review it immediately after.
And I'm just sleeping.
And here's why I say that. Yeah, that's my point. Here's why I say that. Because I remember like when we tried to do the review for The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Ed, what did you feel the story was? And you came out with, you know, there was this Republic and these other guys, they were chasing them. And
They had a war.
They had a war and it won.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's what you got out of it.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah. And it's like everything that went on, for anybody who saw that movie, that was literally Ed's takeaway for the whole thing.
Yeah, pretty much. And I watched it 3 times.
Yeah, that was my point. And I was like, how the hell did he get this?
Yeah.
So I feel like we need to go to this movie together. Can we do this? I mean,
maybe.
Yeah. We'll figure this out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll go together and then do an immediately after an impromptu podcast where we review the movie.
I'm in.
So I think that's something that should be done.
I was trying to get out of it. I'm like, I don't want to sit in the fucking theater for 2 hours.
You ever been to Hudson's Theater?
They're pretty nice.
Dude, reclining seats, all that. It's an experience.
It's almost a given I'll be asleep in 15 minutes.
That's fine. And then I can ask you at what point you fell asleep.
Yeah, and I'll be like,
catch you up on things.
So they started playing that music at the beginning.
You'd be like, there was a purple guy. He had a glove. I don't get it.
There were some words on the screen. Nap time. I'm in. You'll see.
But you like spectacle, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we should go to a midnight showing. I don't know if it's even possible now. It's probably sold out, if I'm being honest. But a midnight showing where people are fucking dressed up as the characters and shit. You got
that would be fun.
They're gonna be screaming in the theater.
That would be fun.
Not in a bad way. Something will come on the screen and they'll be like, yeah, it's the purple guy. Finally.
I'm sliding down in my seat, covering my face up.
You're like, who the fuck is this guy?
What the fuck?
Is he the good guy?
Is he good? What's so exciting? He's just a character. You guys know he's not real, right?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Josh Brolin is Thanos. It's going to be awesome, man.
That would be fun.
We got to do it. We got to make it happen.
And just going to the theater would make it more interesting, I imagine.
Yeah. Let me point this out, too. I almost exclusively watch movies in the theater.
That's a good thing.
Actually, the last movie I watched that's not true. My wife and I will sit and watch something.
I know what you mean, though. Like movies that you're excited about, big film.
Yeah. Well, the other day, out of nowhere, I pull up HBO Now, and I'm like, oh, Heartbreak Ridge. Let's watch that.
Okay.
It's a Clint Eastwood movie.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell drew me to it other than maybe because I was in the military.
Okay.
But I never watched Clint Eastwood movies. And at one point during it, I'm like, am I turning into my dad? This is something my dad would do at 2 in the morning.
Have you ever watched any Clint Eastwood movies?
I've seen parts of some.
Have you ever seen Any Which Way But Loose? Where he's got that chimpanzee?
I would never watch that. Here's one of my rules about watching movies.
Okay.
If you've got an animal as your sidekick, I ain't fucking watching you.
Really?
No.
Turn, Clyde?
Nope.
Oh, come on, man. These are classics. See, those are the kind of movies I got into, back in the old days.
I don't find animal humor funny. I find it silly and
I like silly.
It's like fart jokes to me. They're not funny.
Yeah, I'm not
if you're a movie and if you're a comedy and you have to resort to fart jokes, you are not funny.
Yeah.
That's the point at which the writer should start again.
With the exclusion of Dumb and Dumber in the bathroom scene. I make an exception for that.
What was the bathroom scene?
In Dumb and Dumber, somehow Lloyd ends up giving him X-Lax, and he goes to the hot girl's house.
See, I still don't think that's funny then.
It wasn't funny because he was shitting. It was funny because it was happening to him at the hot girl's house in her bathroom, and then the toilet doesn't work, and then, do you know what I mean? You can put yourself in that moment. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
You're like, oh shit.
I mean,
this
I can't.
is terrible.
But
that's never happened to you?
No.
Shitting in an unforgiving place?
Oh, dude, I have ulcerative colitis. I've shit anywhere you can imagine. But it's not funny. Maybe that's why I don't like it.
It's too close to home.
It is not funny.
He said that shit's way too close to home, man.
Dude, I had to pull behind. It's 5 in the morning. I'm driving to work.
Okay.
And, life happens. It comes at you fast.
It comes real fast.
And I'm like, where am I going to go? Nothing's open. And I'm like, there's a Burger King. Maybe I can see if they're open. It's pretty. I was like, I'm pushing it. They're not. And you ain't stopping this. If you've never experienced ulcerative colitis, imagine just taking 25 X-Lax.
You just got
and that's your life.
It's got to happen.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, there's a trash. They got their place where they take all their trash. And so I go there and I'm propping myself up against their dumpster. And did my business right there. And when you have that situation, you're always carrying.
Yeah.
I felt bad because, whoever took out the trash the next came out to a big
pile of shit. Poor guy.
And, not even good shit at that. Just this runny, disgusting colitis shit.
So I have a similar story. I'm in high school, and and if you're not familiar with the Akron area, this will make no sense to you. But I went to Central Howard High School, which is surrounded by Akron University, basically.
Okay.
And I'm walking to school one morning, and the same thing happens. It's one of those ones where I got like 30 seconds, and I have to take it. Or it's
there's
going
no
in my
waiting.
pants.
There's no waiting.
30 seconds to figure this out.
Got it.
So I dip into this little alley thing. Think I'm pretty, I don't think anybody can see me. So I start doing my business, and not 10 seconds later, the Akron University female track team comes jogging in front of me. Like 50 girls. 50 girls. And I'm sitting there full squat, pants in my ankles, leaning up against this wall, dropping a deuce.
Nice.
And they're just jogging by looking at me.
Are they looking at?
And I'm 16 or 17 years old at the time. I was so embarrassed. I never wanted to die so bad in my life as I wanted to die at that moment.
That's
they
amazing,
just jogged by
man.
looking at me. And I can still see them in slow motion.
I can't beat that, but I do
and
have
their
one
top,
more.
and their tight little spandex outfits.
Hot little numbers, and you'd love to touch any one of them, and
You're just watching me.
and you're like, I know I'll no longer have a chance with any of these girls.
I could take you to the spot it happened. That's how burned into my brain
That's
it is.
so funny.
Yes.
So I have one not nearly as funny as that.
Okay.
But same situation. Again, I was going through this period, and everything that was not under control, and so I pull off the road. I'm driving and pull off the road, and because I'm just in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm between Salem, Ohio, and Lake Milton.
I know where that's at. Yeah.
Okay, and I was heading to Warren. So there was just nothing between us. It was from Salem, Ohio to Warren, and nothing there. So I'm on this barren road, and I see off to the side of the road. I'm driving up. I'm like, oh man, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I see this, because it's just flat, like nothing. And I'm like, oh, there's like a little overpass. It's real small, but it's going over a small creek.
Yeah.
And fortunately, there was some cattails.
Okay.
I'm like, cattails it is.
There it is.
So I pull over and I put on my flashers and grab my TP, my toilet paper, walk into the cattails. And I can, it's to the point where I can like barely see out. You know what I mean? Like no one could see me if they're not looking for me. But and I can see cars kind of the shadow of them flying by, and I see lights.
Uh-oh.
And it's the fucking police.
That's not as bad.
And no, this is not nearly as hilarious as yours.
Yeah,
I said that. Let's make that clear. This does not beat your story. But like I'm mid movement here, and like the cop comes in, and they like woo, they like do their thing, and like there's no one in the car, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm like with my pants around my ankles, I'm like trying to scoot out of the cattail.
I'm down here.
Yeah, and I like wave, and like the look on this it was a Stady. The Stady's face was just like, I hope everything's okay with you.
Have a good day, sir.
See you later.
Yeah. That's great.
And I have a couple others.
So let me finish up my story. So
I thought it was done.
it's pretty close.
Oh, okay.
It's just one little addition.
Okay.
So I did not have toilet paper with me. So let's just say I finished that school day with no socks.
Yep.
I went bare ankles
Socks.
the whole day.
So I have a buddy
Yeah.
who had something happen. He was just in a public restroom, and they
Okay.
had no toilet paper. And he used money. He took out a $20 bill and used it
Instead of his socks?
instead of his socks. Not the decision and that was the first question I asked him. I was like, why didn't you use your sock, man? And he's like, that never occurred to me. And I'm like, you are fucked up, sir.
I was going to say, you must be in a different financial bracket
Yeah.
than me.
I'm not using money.
Like, I can get 10
I'm
pairs of
going
socks
to be honest.
for $20.
I'm going to be honest. Like there's water all over the place on this planet, and cleaning is really just a frictional process. I'll use my fucking hand before I'll use money.
Yeah, it depends on the denomination. Anything south of a 20, I'd probably use the cash, but 20 bucks and up, you don't use the
bill.
money.
No way.
It's like, and you call me the cheapskate. You put your hand in poop rather than waste a $10 bill.
Dude, you can wash it off.
I got you.
I'm not going to eat or anything before I do this.
I just pictured Joe Dirt. Have you ever seen Joe Dirt with his meteorite?
No.
You've never seen the movie Joe Dirt?
I saw it years ago. It doesn't
man.
really do much for me.
So he's lugging this meteorite around. It's what he thinks it is. And
Turns out it's poop.
Yeah, but they show the scene with him. He's got like ketchup squirted on the meteorite, and he's dipping his French fries in it. He's like, "Meteorite, I love you," or whatever. This is before he knows it's shit.
Why would he try to eat a meteorite?
He was eating off of the meteorite, using it as like a plate.
Oh,
and just have like a pile of ketchup squirted on it, and he's dipping his French fries in them.
When did he find out it was shit?
Later in the movie.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So you don't get into those movies, huh?
Not really.
That's weird. Like I'm into those.
Some of them I do.
That's more my style of movie. Yeah. Like I think for me, life is like serious enough that I look for movies to be like an escape from reality.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean,
it's just a different path than what you see.
Like Marvel is definitely an escape from reality.
But that's what I'm saying. I think we just take a different angle of.
Well, anyway, we're going to go see this. We got to do it.
I'll do it. I'm in.
It's a spectacle.
I'll check it out.
It's a thing to see. Like I said, this is going to be the highest grossing film probably of all time.
And then I can say I've seen it in the theaters.
Almost guaranteed to be a perfect score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
Yeah. You don't understand the level that people love these films, man.
Jesus.
Yeah, like I get that you don't get, they're not your thing. But
well, yeah, I respect it.
Yeah.
I don't expect people to like what I like.
Yeah.
I know I'm a strange bird, you know? I mean.
All right, man. Well, we got to get back to work and do stuff. But, at least we got the podcast out here. We got it filmed. We both agree that this has been a crazy-ass spectacle with the UFC and that something needs to change. I think they need to rein their fighters in. I think they need to start having some standards outside.
I think the biggest thing for me is I'm going to sit back and watch with like a watchful eye and see if they treat it the same as they did like with John Jones. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but what'd they do with him? I mean,
Um,
nothing. They just let USADA take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, but he's been suspended a couple times, like with the car wreck with the pregnant lady and stuff. You know what I mean? And I just feel like sometimes Dana White has a bias when he's buddy and a fan of a fighter. He lets him get away with a lot of fucking shit.
Well, that's what I mean. There needs to be better standards. There just needs to be standards.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's some. I'm rubbing the table, making a fucking noise. People are like, "What is that? Is there a raccoon attacking the?"
Bill's just getting mauled by a trash panda. just getting tore up. That'd be great. I would help you, but I would have to get a picture first.
Oh, that's funny. All right, Ed, how can people get a hold of us, man?
And there's so many ways.
Yeah?
Yeah, blackbelttips.com.
Okay.
Black Belt Tips on Facebook.
Awesome.
blackbelttips@gmail.com I said already.
Yeah, hook us up with an email, man.
Yep. And what am I forgetting?
How can they get you on Twitter?
Eddie Jiu-Jitsu 33.
Okay. And you can get me at Top Level GJJ.
Yes, sir.
Hashtag Black Belt Tips. That'll make it easier to find.
Yep.
That way we can search
always
it.
Find us on Facebook.
I'm almost
all these
guaranteed
things.
not to do that.
Yep. We got Black Belt Tips on Facebook.
All right.
There's so many ways.
Send us questions. Send us answers to questions.
Yeah,
that makes
please.
them easier to answer.
Yeah, if you ever hear us say some shit and you're like, just totally disagree with it, let us know.
If you want to tell me the earth is flat, you don't need to send me an email. But anybody else,
you can send it to me. I'll engage you.
If you, for some reason, think racism and segregation were a good thing, go ahead, send me that email. I'll call you out on it.
If you're a flat earther, reach out to me and I will tell you an experiment that you can do in your kitchen that will prove everything wrong to you in 1 minute.
Wow.
1 minute.
They ain't got time for that, Ed.
Not even 1 minute?
No, they're going to build a rocket ship and fly 1,800 feet in the air and try to do it themselves.
You mean they're going to use a rocket ship with science to launch themselves
Clearly
into
not.
space?
It didn't even make it to 1,800.
Yeah. I used to shoot those.
I think he shook up some Coke bottles and Mentos.
Oh, my God. Dude, I had toy rockets as a kid that would go 2,000 feet in the air. With those little model engines that had like 6 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but those are made with science.
Yeah.
And accounted for gravitational pull.
Yeah, he didn't. That's probably why he went like up and then arced off and just kind of came down.
My understanding is he's lucky to be alive.
Yes. Yes. He definitely is.
And I was watching a video, it was pictures. They were pictures. I was reading an article, and like, there's all these mountains in the background, and people are like, dude, those mountains are probably higher than 1,800 feet. He could have just climbed up one of those.
By far higher. They're like 10,000-foot mountains in the background. So in case you don't know what we're laughing at, there's a guy, a flat earther, who was so convinced the earth was flat, he built a rocket, a steam-powered rocket, if I remember.
Whatever. And
launched himself hundreds of feet into the air. That's great.
And these are the guys you're following.
Yeah, come on, man.
All right, guys. You guys have a great one. I am Bill Jones here with Mr. Edward Whitney. Thank you for listening. We are out.